Yes, this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Yet, once again, it is Wednesday night. When we come to your house, when we come to your home, we come into your phone, through your computer, wherever you are, we come to you with Open Talk. Open Talk is a program in One Accord Television, and this program is geared to bringing information to you, to bringing in encouragement, maybe correction, maybe reproof, maybe rebuke, that which you desire. It's my prayer that you will capture, you will receive it from God, because our foundation is the Word of God. We are founded on the Word of God, and we see what God has done in the lives of different people. And our God is not a respecter of persons. So as you sit together and enjoy Open Talk, I pray that you open up your heart, open up your spirit, so that you can get that which God has prepared for you. My name is Bishop Mark Kariuki, your pastor and your friend for a long time. For a long time. And I want you to know that our God never changes. As usual, we have always had guests with us, and our guests have been very, very profitable. We have received lots of comments and interactions with you, our viewers, and saying how you have benefited from all the different guests that we have brought. Now, again, tonight, we have another very, very special guest. Another very special guest, and he's going to speak to us on his journey. And this is none other but a friend of mine called Kinyua Wairatu. Kinyua Wairatu, and he will be telling us whether Iratu is the father or the uncle or whoever from there. But Kinyua Wairatu is actually a former shoe cobbler or cobbler in Dandora Phase 5. If you know who a cobbler is, this is one of them in Dandora Phase 5. But now, he is not in Dandora Phase 5. I want you to know that where you are tonight, you have not been concreted there. Whatever you are going through, hujakorogewa hapo. So we'll be talking to Kinyua, who is now the CEO, Chief Operations Officer, Chief Executive Officer of Maono Lands Limited. Maono Lands Limited. So, Kinyua, welcome to Open Talk. This is home. Yes. And home you filanga free. So you just filanga free. Yeah. Tunapiga stories zetu. Kuna watu pale ambao wanaonaga tu Kinyua Wairatu, Kinyua Wairatu, hawajui. But first of all, usalimie our viewers.
Thank you, our viewer. I am Kinyua Wairatu, former shoe cobbler in Dandora. Now I'm the CEO, Maono Lands Limited. Thank you, Bishop, for this opportunity.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Kinyua. Now, let me ask you this question. Where were you born?
I was born in Anyeri, a place called Leteti Village in Madeira constituency. That is where I was raised, and I was born the firstborn in the family of 3. Yes.
Wow. And your parents are still there, or they are not there, or your brothers are there?
Actually, my mother is the one who was from that area. So she was not married by then.
Okay.
Then she was married when I was in standard 6.
Okay.
He was married in Dandora. So he had to come from the village and come now in Nairobi.
Wow.
That is Dandora. And that's where I joined Shiranga Primary School. The school was built in Matope, in Bakasi North. And that is where I started my life in Nairobi. By then, because it was the only preschool that we could afford to pay. So I schooled there for 2 classes, standard 7 and 8, and then from there I was called to different schools, but I did not manage because there was no school fees.
Okay.
Yes. So from there, my father, who married my mom by then, he was a carpenter. So without another option, I became a carpenter at that age. So I trained to be carpenter. Then after I became a professional carpenter, I could not be able to stay there because, you know, working with a parent is not easy. Because sometimes you make a stool or a chair, and then you are not given the money. And that time you feel that you want something in your pocket. So sometimes I could get it, sometimes I did not get it. By then we got a contract at Ushirika Primary School. I was very young because I think I was 14, but I was given given a contract because there was no otherwise in Ushirika Primary School to make desk. So I joined there. The contract, I was paid 60 shillings per day. By then I could feel now I am mature. I will not live with my parents. But the 60 shillings could not give me food and could not afford for me a shelter. So I talked with my father, and then he talked with his friends. And then I was given a place to live. I was given a plot where I could live as I secured the plot not to be stolen. Because by then people could come and grab plots which are not occupied. So I was given one, and then a room was built there, so that where I started living by then. When I continued to work with the contract was over because the desks were enough for the school. By then, I could not go back to the workshop because of the issues that was arising. So I had to look another work because there was no other, because still I was young. I did not have the ID, so I could not join any company or so that's where I joined mzee called Joroge in Dandora. He was a shoe cobbler. So I told him I want to know how to make shoes, how to repair shoes. Then he invited me and told me, you can proceed. That's where I became a shoe cobbler. We just worked with them there for only 2 months. Then them there gone to the village, and he did not come back. Even now,
he has never come back.
Even now, he is still in the village. So I was left as the senior cobbler. So I had no experience, but I could work and I could stitch the uncomplicated works. So I could make some shoes which are not complicated. Which are complicated, I could refer to somebody else. By then, the money started rising. From there, that I was paid 60 shillings, now I could get 100, 130. So I became comfortable there. And you know, becoming the senior foodie, you feel now, nobody is controlling you. So I relocated from the houses that I was given to look after the plot. Then I was able to rent a 500 house in Dandora. Just next to here, I was making the shoes. Next day, I got a house, a batty house, which I was able to pay 500 shillings per month. And there I was a bit comfortable because there was water, there was electricity, and the ones that I was looking after, there was no other facility. So when it came to toilet, you had to look for a neighbor.
For a bush.
For a bush. And it was so stressing. So there now my life started. My life started, and after working like Kinyua, the kiosk was demolished where I was working.
That's your shoe factory.
My shoe factory. My shop now was demolished because I had constructed in somebody's plot. So he came and occupied the space, and I had to vacate. So I left the shoe cobbler work now. Because I had no other space. I could not be able to rent a bigger house. So I just collected my shoes and my materials and kept them in my house. So I looked for another option. There is when I became a plumber. Plumber who fixes the pipes for water connection. I joined a Jama called Maono who was doing the plumbing work in Dandora. So I trained the work. I could carry his materials as he working, and I could see what he is doing. After just a few months, I then became a senior plumber. So I started fixing water in Dandora, even though I was not professional. Sometimes I could fix and then the water will start leaking. So many people came and noticing me that I'm not professional in you call this man. And we could also not agree with the guy who introduced me to that work, because the guy, I could pick some of his works. So we could not be in a good relationship. So and the work became so difficult, because I remember one time I was given the work and I messed up. You know, there are some things you fix. When you mess up, you have to buy another one. Like, for example, a toilet system. If you longly fix it, it will start leaking. The leak cannot be amended because you have already cut the pipe. There is no that pipe. Some things, if you mess them in the system and it is new, you have to fix another one new. So the problems started emerging. So I decided to leave the work because the issues were more than the profit. I had to look somewhere else to continue with the work of a shoe cobbler. So now I decided permanently I'd be a shoe cobbler. And that was the year 2001. I got a place next to here I was, and I rented up somewhere. Then later I got a permanent place. So I became a shoe cobbler from the year 2001 to 2008. Yes. And now I continue to be professional, because I always tell people something you do with your whole heart, you will become passionate. So, and when you have passion, the work that you are doing, even though you are not professional, you will come becoming professional. So as I continued with the work of shoe cobbler, I could know things that I did not know. You know, those days there was safari, but it was very costly. I know you could afford many those days. But for me, that was the expensive shoe. We could fix if it was torn in the front side, I could fix another pattern. So I became so professional. And I could have a lot of money. And I remember in the year 2005, now I had a good money, and I relocated from the 500 house, 500 shillings house, and relocated to one that was costing 1,500. By those time, that was a good one. So as I continued, the work, I had more customers. Then I started listening Kameme FM. By then, I started following the programs. I just loved the radio. In the in the year 2006, those time from 2001 and to 2005, I could also, I used to drink alcohols and sometimes miraa and all kind of So in the year 2006, it came a time I felt that I want to change my life. I felt the way that I'm living, God has already been so good to me. I felt in the year 2006 that I felt convinced that it's good I change my life. That is the time I got saved.
Okay.
In June 2006, I got saved. It was several nights I could not sleep. And by that time, I felt it's good to change my life, even though the pressure was so high. The peer pressure was so high. I decided, and I was still young. So I joined Gospel Revival Center in Dandora, Phase 2, Dandora Cinema at Bishop Robert Mzomba. I remember that day I gone there very early, and I gave my life to Christ in June. That's why my life got a new turn.
Okay.
That time, all the money I had, I could not see the fruits because it was not spent well. I could kukula raha kila mahali. Sasa haikuwa inasaidia. So from that time I felt, after giving my life to Christ, that is the time I felt, even though I don't have education, I have to do something else. So I remember the time I got saved, the Bible became so clear to me. As I was reading, and the time I got saved, the brethren just welcomed me with a very good welcome. They gave me Bible. I remember Pastor Mothe was in charge. Then he told me I will be teaching you Bible study every Wednesday. So be coming even if you are alone. I make sure that you have learned more about the Bible. So when I got saved, the Bible became so new to me. I could read every verse and become so big to me. I remember that is the time I read Philippians 1 verse 6 that says, the God who started the good work in me. Yeah. So I was able to differentiate. God did not start only work, but it was good work in my life. Yeah. That became so heavy to me. And that is the time I started writing. Whenever I read the Bible verse, I could write the revelation. I remember I left the school at study 8. I was a study dropout. Yeah. So I could write, and the language was not clear because of the level of the education. So I started writing down whatever I felt, even though it was not good, I could write down. And then as I continued writing several verses, they could fill an A4 paper. I felt it is good I type this message in a paper. After writing, it became so sweet to me, and I'm the one who has written. I remember the language is not good. So I decided this can become a business. So after typing, I got some photocopy. As I continued with my work for shoe cobbler, I could sell the papers at 10 shillings. So I finished stitching your shoe, and then I could tell you, I have a paper here, and it is so encouraging. You can read it. And people started motivating me. They could ask me, have you written another one? The other one was very sweet. So this became a business. I could work as a shoe cobbler from Monday to Saturday. Then on Sunday, I could carry those papers, the photocopies. Yeah. After the church, I could start outside the church and started selling them at 10 shillings. And that time, I also became a fan, a Kameme Shabik.
Yeah.
I became a fan. I could set salams through the simu ya jamii, because I had no phone by then.
Yeah.
They were so costly. I could use the simu ya jamii, then call to Kameme. I started becoming famous, and all people in Dandora could know me. So the work became so great. People could come from all sides. And started and give me some work. I could not be able to work for all my customers, so I hired another foodie.
Now you are a boss.
Now I'm the boss, because money is coming from every area, from the shoe work, from the papers. I could sell even over 1,000 on Sunday. I remember that time when I started becoming famous, we were invited in Nakuru Joro, in a PCA church. I sold those photocopy papers over 2,000 shillings.
Allah.
And that was a very big money. And from then, I started writing them volumes. That is volume 1. So I could even ask people, which volume do you want? You could tell me 3. Then I could pin them together. If you don't have volume 1 and 2, you bring 20 shillings so that you can get. And remember, it is a photocopy paper. You could give me 20 shillings, then I could give you volume 1 and 2. This time now, people are looking for me everywhere. They could come from Dandora Phase 1 to come and see this Fundi Wairatu who is famous. They could come with a Yeshu. Now even the price of shoe repair started hiking. The one that was charging like slippers, I was charging 5 shillings. Now it hikes to 10. Kupiga uzi kiatu, it hiked from 30 to 50. Because you know now I have even another fundi. So I could do all those things. Now in the year 2008, I felt this is not my portion. Because the photocopies papers are doing very well. Now I felt I can write a small book. And I wrote a small book that was 8 pages. A small book like this size. But I had no money to publish. I gone to one of my friends who I really value, called Mr. Madenge from Sorai Paints, and I told him the idea that I have. I have this book, I want to publish it, but I don't have money. So he supported me with 4,000. The money was not still enough. I gone to another mzee from Karia supermarket. I told him I have an idea of writing a small book. I don't want to sell papers again. He gave me 3,000. I gone to another person. The money that was needed was around 10,000. I told those people, if you give me the money, I will advertise you in the book. In the book, I will advertise you there. So the people gave me the money. And I published the first book. I was able to publish 1,000 copies. I remember the language, the grammar had a lot of errors because of the level of education. So after selling some copies, one brother who was working from Parents Magazine approached me. He was called Bulu. He told me, you have talent, but this is not something to give to people. I told him, you can advise me what to do. He told me, I can edit for you. Then as you start making money, you can pay me later. I told him he is okay. That's okay. But I told him, everything that you edit, you give me back, I see what you have done. So I started learning from there. If you edit anything, I see, oh, so here I did not put comma, so I was not supposed to use this word. I could learn from my mistakes. And that time I started buying books so that I can get more knowledge. Because Helen Keller said one day, nothing can stop a determined heart.
Yeah.
So everybody who is determined, even if you are watching us tonight, if you are determined to become somebody, with God, nothing is impossible.
Amen.
So many people are lacking determination. So I was determined. I was determined, even though I had I was not able to go to school, but I was determined to become a better person. So I started learning from Bolo. Bolo, after editing the mistakes. Then, now, Bolo, if you are watching us everywhere you are, if you know Bolo who was working from Parents Magazine, you can come now. I'm able to buy for you a lunch because I don't know where you go. You are at the moment. So he could edit, and then I came back and I learned my mistake. So after selling that book, even if the book I was selling at 50 shillings. So from 1,000 books using 10,000, I was able to make 40,000. So after selling the books and they were full of mistakes, I had a profit of 40,000. That is when I made a decision. I'm not a shoe cobbler from now. The fundi that I was training, we were working together. I told him, I want 300 shillings per day. So, but you are now the fundi, you are now the boss, use everything. And they left the work from there. He was able to give me the money like 4 to 5 months. Then I went there. He stopped submitting the money. And I was pressing him to give me the money, and he was not able to give me. So I had to go there to look what happened, because he was a good man. Why is he not submitting the money as he did before? So I got, he got married. He got married. now the expenses are higher. He had to rent a good house because of the wife. Now I decided, let me leave this work. So I told him, I have blessed you with this work. You continue, because you cannot chase the wife so that you can give me the money. I decided to bless him with the work. So now I had I had to push this book to be able to sell, so that I can get my maintenance. And I will not go back to be a shoe cobbler. So I told Bolo, this book had a lot of mistakes. So because you have edited, we are going to produce this book. The edited, the volume 2, the edited. So I wrote there, edited book. So if you bought the one with a mistake, you just give me 50 shillings, I give you another book. And that book sold a lot. I started advertising people. Now another, I had to search for other people, not the one that I used for the first book. So I sourced another sponsors who sponsored the book totally, and I was able to get 60,000.
Wow!
People who paid money, which was amounting to 60,000. And I got the money before printing the book, because they are our sponsors. So I got the sponsor. In the sponsorship, I was left with 40,000 as a profit. Then I sold the book at 50 shillings, so I got another 50,000. Now I felt this is the work. This is the way to do. And I was working for the book at Shekarume Road here in Nairobi. I was assisted by a sister known as Lydia, who supported me, who showed me how the printing goes. Now, I decided with this money, I'm going to make a big magazine. I registered a magazine called Shabik Press. Yes.
Shabik?
Press.
Shabik Press.
Yes, it was Shabik magazine, but I was advised to register it as a place, because in a place you can do printing, not only magazine. So I registered the magazine, and I started producing it officially. I started interviewing people and put their stories in the magazine. And the magazine was selling at 100 shillings. And amazingly, because of the name that I was using in Kameme as a Shabik fan, many people came to know me. So when I said that I am producing a magazine, I got a lot of sponsors. And that time I decided to rent an office at Mombi House in the city. I rented an office, Mombi House, second floor, room 220. That is where I was interviewing people. I was getting advertisement money. The sponsors could come there. And now I told my pastor, now you have to release me because the magazine is selling more on Saturdays. Yes, so I could go to different churches. I could speak with a pastor in advance. I could tell him I will come on your service on Saturday. And I could not tell them that I am going to sell the magazine so that they can keep the door open. So after I could greet the people, I tell them what is in the magazine. People could buy. I remember one day I got to a church through Evangelist Lucio Agojiri in Kangari, place called Mudhithi, PCA. And that time, I sold a lot of money. And it was mounting around 100,000.
Wow, just one day?
Just one day. Even I could not sleep in the house because I was suspecting somebody can come to collect the money. So from there I was able, even though to produce a magazine was very costly, but now I could see the work that I'm doing is growing. So I started now naming the magazine. I could produce this one, that is first edition, second edition, third edition. Then I proceeded like that. And people started knowing me everywhere because of this magazine. In the year 2010, I got married, and now we are blessed with several children. That time, the work had peaked, but now it started dropping. Because as you know, Kenyans are not readers. So the profit that I was getting started dropping. But that time the magazine was one color inside. Somebody advised me, if you can be able to print a full color magazine, it can do better. But I had no money. So I decided to look how I can get the money so that I can be able to print a printed magazine. So I drop it first, then I engaged to printing work. I could make a receipt book for people. I could make some brochures for the church. I could, and posters. Now I'm not working for the magazine because the outcome is not good. So I got some money through that. Then around 2013, I was able to go back to printing, to print the magazine. Because through printing, as I was making the magazine, I could know how printing goes. You get paper from here, you are printed here, then you get some profit. Then 2013, I was able to go back to the magazine. I was able to print the first colored magazine. Yes. I could supply to all people, to all vendors in town. To all vendors I could supply, and I got, now I felt that the work has stabilized. After some years, the work also did not work. I remember in 2017, even my house could be locked. Yes, because there is no income, the magazine is not selling, there are no printing works. Even that time my wife could welcome me, but I feel he is not happy. Sometimes because of the issues, the money issues, we don't have money. When I could dig Peter why he is not happy, because the landlord was just there, and I had a lot of arrears in rent. So I had to look something else. Because the magazine is not selling, the printing work is not there. That is the time I was employed in a company called Shabaland as a salesperson. Shabaland? Yes. So when I was employed as a salesperson, I could be paid 25,000. That was a good money by then. I could relate very well with the customers because I had already known the tricks to make people buy the magazine. So the lad was very easy for them to buy. By that time they were selling lad in Maridi. So I was the one, after becoming a salesperson, I was elevated to logistic manager. I was the one who was checking the beacons are well fixed. I could check how the customers could see their beacons and see their portions. As I continued with that, it is when people started asking me, can I get, because we were selling 1 acre there. And some people were so interested with the Maridi lad because it was so cheap. They were asking me, and they started looking after me. They were telling me, can I get 50 acres? They were asking me if they can get 50 acres. And by that time, I had no idea. But I started engaging to know more about the lad. And I was engaging people from those areas that we were selling, started giving me the lad. They were, it's like they were answering the questions that I was being asked. So they could tell me, I'm selling 50 acres. Can you get a customer? Yes, I told them, yes, that is possible. So we agreed with them. If I'm going to sell this rad, what are you going to give me? And they started there. A lad I could be given a 20% of the amount that was to be paid. Wow. Yes. Yes, it was a very good business. So if a person pays 1 million, I was given 200,000. Allah. So the business started. I remember even the first money was not even accepted in the bank because they could see that my account has never operated in such amount. So I started becoming excited. Because of bank asking me many questions, I decided I will not be depositing money in the bank. So I could stay with the money I could stay with that money in the house. When the time came to go to Maridi, I could go with the money. And I asked those people, I have another customer and he has a deposit and it is me. So I could give the money. The first land I was able to buy was 93 acres. And I was sold in a very cheap price. So I gave the money that I had. It was not enough for the lad. So when I came back to Nairobi, I got another person. Through the connection of the first person that I connected, he told me, even me, I need another lad. I sold the first lad. That I had only the balance of like 300,000 to complete the whole payment. I told him I don't have 50, I have 93. And this is mine. I'm not a broker. So I was able to sell the land where I managed to get a profit which was over 2 million.
Oh.
Yes. From that, I continued to buy another one. Then I was able to buy 200 acres. It became on my name. That one did not have a customer. I got another person who still needed another 50 acres. I connected him to buy. Then the profit, I added another land. By that time, I had not decided to become a land seller because I also feared poverty. You know, when you suffer a lot, Bishop, you fear you can engage in this, then it fails, then you go back to where you were. Remember, this time I was still working at Chabalad, so I could receive my salary. Even sometimes I could forget because the money that I'm getting.
Now you have some good money.
I have some good money. So I did, at the moment, somebody came and told me, how much are you paid in this company? I told him, can I top up? You come and work in my company? I told him, yes, if you can top up well, it is good. I can come. So he asked me, how much are you paid here? At that time, I was paid that 1,000, but I told him 50. I don't know if it is a lie, but I just told him like that. So I told him I am paid 50,000. So if you can top up from there, I can come. And he started with 80,000.
Wow.
So I was able to leave this work, and I came. And that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
It was a lot of money, and you know I'm still selling the land when I'm still there managing his work. So I worked there about
this time, are you now living in Malindi or in?
I'm living here in Nairobi, but many of the times I'm in Malindi because the work is there, the land is there. So. Because now the salary here has increased. I decided also now even my life must change. So I relocated from where I was living. I gone to a better place. I was living in a 1-bedroom house. I gone to a 2-bedroom house because now there is no problem. I worked there for like a year. After working there for a year, the salary had hiked from 80 to 100, I think 130. But this time, as I was getting the salary, remember my life is not that costly. So I was able to pay my house, I was able to maintain my house, and I was left with a lot of money. So I was able to top up to some land in Maridi.
Okay.
Because of working in different companies, I had an experience. How you can sell a land and how you can buy a land from here and change and transfer the titles. Those are all experiences. So I decided to quit from this company and start my own. And when I decided to start my own, I had no name. I had no name, but I feel this time I'm mature enough. I can start my own thing. So I had a lot of names. Yes, vision lad, dream lad, because I felt that like I have a vision, I have a dream. So I gone to Sharia house. I searched the names, and all the names that I had filled are already occupied with some people. So I decided, what am I going to do? And now I am jobless, but I have land. But I don't know the process to use because I must have a platform. And a platform is a company.
Yeah.
I gone to prayer for 3 days in Heaven's Gate. I told God, because you are the one who started with me, somebody who had not gone to school, but now you have made me who I am today. I want you to give me a name. Because I have looked the names are not working. I felt as like a voice that I am going to give you purpose with a destiny. Purpose, and I wrote it down. Purpose with a destiny. What is purpose with a destiny? It is something that will connect people to their destiny.
Yeah.
Now I have to look the name because for me to fix the people purpose with their destiny, I have to look for a name.
Yeah.
That is when I felt this name is Maono. Amazingly, after just getting that name, because of the fear of the names that had filled earlier, I added S in lads. You know, it had no plural. It is supposed to be lad. So I added S so that to make sure that this name will not fail. So I wrote Maono Lads Limited. When I searched for that name, the next day it was a tick. It had already gone through.
Wow.
So I registered the name. Now I have a lot, but I don't have money. And I have now the name. I am comfortable. That is the time I rented down the first office at Kaguda Road office, a place called Kwamaji. I was living allowed there by then, so I was able to talk with the landlord. I will pay you the amount later. And he accepted my request. I was able to pay, and I started working there. I was the boss, I was the receptionist, I was everything. I was the cleaner, but I could call people now and then, come in my office and buy some land. And people started coming. They started coming. By first month, Bishop, we had a profit of over 400,000. Wow! A profit. That time I rented our office in town. I furnished the office. After 2 months, we had another office in Thika. Wow! Because God can give you speed anointing. You just go with speed. From Thika, we had another office after 2 months in Maridi. Allah. Within 6 months...
This is Maono Lads.
Yes, now this is Maono Lads. Now we are able to pay even advertisements from all the radio stations. The first month, we are able to give lads to over 100 people. Wow. The first month. Yes, we divided the land to half acres, so people were able to purchase. We are selling at 50,000. They were able to purchase. So they came a lot. And from there, God has been with us. We have lad from different places. We have lad in Nyahururu. We have lad in Kamulu-Luai. We have lad in Juja. We have a lot of lad in Maridi. Okay. Within a short time, we were able to fix the market, because I always tell people, don't force people things. Don't force people things. Answer questions to people. If people are asking for land with a title deed, look for that land with a title deed. Yeah. Don't give people land. You tell them this is like a title deed. You are not answering, because Success comes, Dr. Miles Monroe said, that success comes when preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah.
So when you are answering people questions, it's like you have an opportunity. Now the preparation will fix the moment. And every work that you do, you have to believe.
Yeah.
Because what have raised Kinyua Wairatu from a shoe cobbler to here I am now, it is because of faith. And faith, I always tell people, faith has no option. If you start walking, there is no option of going back.
Yeah.
If you start going, you have to go.
Yeah.
There is no gear for rivers. There is no option. Faith has no option that if this will not work, I will do this else. If Maono will not work, there is no option of what we can do. So because Maono is Maono.
Yeah.
And we have to go. And we have. And I always tell people, go for the best.
Yeah.
No, you know, there are some people who give themselves numbers. I'm number 5. You know, I cannot make it. You know, this is not for me. Do you know, Bishop, in 1 month, I was able to buy 2 cars, and I was not able to drive. I did not know even how to drive.
Wow.
You imagine, you are in a showroom, you are buying a car, and even igniting is a problem. You don't know how to do it. Because God, the Bible says that 1,000 days are like 1 day.
Right.
So whatever you have been dreaming, God can make it happen within 1 day.
Yes.
So you have to believe, you have to stay focused and go for the best. Don't do shallow things. Don't do things that even people cannot trust.
Yeah.
When we say it is Maono, we are a blood. When we just put a logo, people you see this is a Maono. Why? Because we are looking for the best. So even if you are not learned like me, don't do shallow things. Do great things so that people can believe in you. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So I think I like that idea of not doing things shadow.
Yes.
Or kyundudo. The other is kyundudo.
Yes.
Just for the heck of it.
Yes.
I think the spirit of excellence is very
important.
Very important.
Yes.
Okay. So do you still have an office in Malindi?
Yes, I have an office in Malindi here in Gatkim Complex. We have 2 offices. We have in 2nd floor and 4th floor. Yes. We have
on the same building?
In the same building, in Vika. We are in Victory Plaza, 4th floor. We have a bigger office there now. And we have still the one that we started with in Kaguda Road, Kwamaji Stage.
Wow.
And we still have in Madidi. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you're still selling the land?
Yes, I'm still selling in Maridi, and that has been doing marvelous. We still have in Manyahururu a place called Sofidi and Kinamba. We are selling, and we sell a cheaper land because of where I have come from. And it is good to tell people there are 2 names that look familiar, but they mean different things. And there is a word called persistent.
Persistence, yeah.
Persistent, you have to persist so that things can work. Not that because you are called to do, even the gospel that you are preaching today, you cannot start a church today and expect that fruits will come just tomorrow, because Kinyua Wairatu started and he is working. So you have to persist. The other word is persevere. They look familiar, but they mean different.
The different, yeah.
So you persevere you persevere the trials. You persevere the difficulties that are coming. Because in every work that you are doing, even in Maono lads, we have to persevere. We have to persevere, because some issues will be great, some issues will be so bitter, but we have to persevere. Why? Because perseverance will bring courage. And people do not believe to people or trust people who cannot persevere. Like in the moment, we are not doing a lot of sales because of COVID.
Yeah.
So if we can compare the sales that we are doing earlier and now in this season, it is not comparable. So we can quit because the sales are not doing like earlier. So the word persevere can be fixed at the moment. We have to persevere what is happening aloud, because never judge a temporary situation with a permanent decision. Because many people have been doing that. It is not going to be well.
I think that's a very important one to put the people.
Yes.
That never judge a permanent situation
or temporary situation with a permanent decision.
With a permanent decision.
Yes.
And the issue of perseverance.
Yes.
Perseverance and persistence. That things don't come on a silver platter.
Yes.
Because you have so many people. Somebody starts this business, and after 2 weeks or 2 months, then it's not working.
You close it.
You close it. You go to another one. After 2 months, it's not working. So you end up starting so many, and all of them are not working.
And they will not work. And you know, when people will not trust you, you will not get success. And people trust people. You know, like you are so trusted, Bishop. Even it is a honor to sit with you here. Because of the years you have been in the ministry. So somebody can rise today. Even if he is anointed, people will not trust him. Why? Because they are waiting for those two words, persevere and persistent. And I want to tell people, I came to read this word and it became so great to me. In the book of Joshua 1 and verse 6, God told Joshua, do not be discouraged. Be courageous, and I will be with you. So there is two things God will not work for you. Courage will come from you. And being strong will come from you. Right. So that you may not give up. Because God will not trust people who can give up today. Who can give up tomorrow. Even the things that I have told you, many things that I have done. Even beyond doing those many things that I have done, I was not discouraged even as day. I could plan things that will work this way, but they will work that way. But that could not discourage me. There are people who are here, who are watching us tonight. You are discouraged, and that's why God cannot trust you with something. Imagine that, like the church that you have, and one day you wake up and you will not preach. So God cannot trust you with another thing. So God will trust people who will not be discouraged. And discouragement will not work in you. If you have a destiny.
That is so powerful. I'm so glad that you are able to come and bring and put those practical things. Because it's the practical things that affect a lot of people negatively. Because they don't want to persevere. They don't want to be persistent. They just want things to come on a silver platter. But I'm so glad that if anybody needs land in Malindi,
you can get it.
And you can Nanyuki
and Nyahururu, even for settlement here in Kamuru Luai, you can get a place.
Well, our viewers, our time moves so fast. Can you imagine? Our time is so much gone. But I hope that you have gotten something. You have got to be persistent, and you have got to persevere. Nothing comes on a silver platter. Don't start something and then you just give it up. You have got to hold on. You have got to hold on until you see it come to pass. If Mr. Kinyua came from being a cobbler into now a land agent, a land owner, he has his own company, you can make it. If he came from a plumber, an untrained plumber, fixing people's pipes, and now he's no longer fixing those pipes. Even if you lost your business during the corona, or you lost everything, I want you to know there is hope. lift up your head and see God, because God is on your side and he will bless the work of your hands. Amen. Thank you so very much, Mr. Kinyua. Thank you for coming and being with us. We trust that you will come again, just to be an encouragement to the people.
Thank you for this honor. Let me wind up with this word, because I feel that it will encourage somebody. Martin Luther King Jr. quoted and said that the enemy of faith are reasons. The enemy of faith are reasons. Many people fail in life because of reasons. I did not go to school, I'm not married, I don't have this and that. Those people will always fail. So have faith, have courage, be determined, be persistent, and life will be better on your side.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Kinyua. We really appreciate. Thank you so much, our viewers. This is Open Talk with your pastor and your friend, Bishop Mark Kariuki. We are going to meet again this coming Wednesday night, and I want you to know your life will never be the same again. Something that I've just picked from Mr. Kinyua is he also reads. He's not allowed his lack of education to keep him from reading books. When he hears him quoting several people, it's because he reads. So you go read. Don't just read the newspaper. Don't just sit there reading some magazine, which is not helping you. You look for good books and read. And your life will never be the same again. Thank you so much. May the Lord richly bless you. Have a super week. Thank you. Bishop Mark Kariuki, your pastor and your friend. God bless you.